The Gouin family, Father Ivan and sons Roger and Martin, have had a profound impact on many industries here in Alberta and around the world. Ivan Gouin started the business in 1953 with one bulldozer. North American Road Limited was primarily known as a road building company. Over time, the company expanded its operations into British Columbia and the Yukon, working on large projects like the Alaska Highway and grading for the Pacific Great Eastern Railroad.
The early days of the company were rather difficult. They had limited resources, limited experience, but lots of enthusiasm. Things went reasonably well for them, but it was a struggle, there's no question about that. And they persevered very well, I thought.
What can you say about a guy who started, building a business by the seat of his pants and was the driving force to build one of Western Canada's great construction forces?
He would listen to people well. He would take their ideas. When he wanted to move forward, he would ask them to do something as opposed to telling them to do something. And that respectability worked well and was a strong element throughout our company.
The 1960s saw the company expand into Saskatchewan as it participated in the Gardner Dam project. It also began working for Suncor in the oil sands industry.
That was a real change. And by that, I mean that a lot of people could build highways and that sort of thing. It's sort of a cookie-cutter business in a lot of ways. And by moving into the industrial business, it was almost like diversifying the company completely.
The 1970s saw further development in NACG's involvement in the oil sands industry, along with the company's first work in natural gas, supplying plastic pipe in the rural gasification project. In 1971, Roger Gouin started working for the company. In the 1980s, NACG added two new divisions, piling and pipeline. The company is beginning to establish itself as an industry leader. At home, NACG prepares the site for the Genesee power plant. The decade also begins with Roger Gouin succeeding his father Ivan as president of NACG.
At a certain age, I felt that it was time for me to back off. And so I said, I know Roger wanted it very much, so did Marty. So I said, okay, I'll make a deal. I'll sell you the company. Everything went just perfect.
I see it oftentimes, fathers, they give up control, but they never see these individuals as anything but their children. They don't see them as business people and CEOs. And Ivan saw that in his sons and encouraged it.
As a person, my father was a very respectful individual of others. He was an optimist. That is something that carried through with us, resonated with me, and we carried those qualities throughout our business careers. My father never really retired. He seldom admitted to anybody, even when he was in his 90s, that he didn't work anymore, because he thought by having an office and discussing business with Martin and myself that he was still sort of working, and he still had an income coming in even at the late stages of his life, and he didn't want to ever really retire. So he just sort of kept on with the thinking that he's still in business, and it worked out.
A new Gouin takes the helm at North American Construction Group when Martin succeeds Roger as president.
Working with Roger has inspired me. He has a tremendous work ethic, always up early in the morning and ready to go, enthusiastic and tenacious. And I learned a lot from that, and it has inspired me.
The 1990s bring even more success. The company's first $100 million contract signed with Syncrude. New, larger equipment is brought in, including what was at the time the world's largest hydraulic shovel.
Martin, while being the youngest, make no mistake, was one strong individual. He faced a lot of very great challenges, took some incredibly strategic and financial risks, and I would think Roger would say that he credits Martin with taking the company to its penultimate goal.
An important element for our success, in my view, was that we and our people as well carried an attitude that people didn't work for us, we worked for our people.
We wanted to hire the best people, we wanted to train the best people, and we wanted to keep the best people.
North American Construction Group is sold in 2003. In 2006, the company is listed on the New York and Toronto Stock Exchanges. It's a moment of great pride for a 90-year-old Ivan Gouin, whose sons achieved heights never imagined by a boy from Vimy, Alberta.
Ivan was the founder, and that is the hardest task, to get a young company started. When Roger took over as president, it was during the National Energy Program era. It was no picnic, but Roger built the company dramatically, particularly in the Fort McMurray area. Martin put the icing on the cake until the company was sold. Ivan would be very proud of Roger and Martin.
For those reasons and many others, Ivan, Roger, and Martin Gouin are worthy inductees into the Alberta Business Hall of Fame.